Hi everyone, it's Eric from ecartman12.blogspot.com and welcome to my full review of the Blackberry Curve 9320. A big thank you must go over to Vodafone for sending me this handset over to review. You can pick this handset up from them on pay-as-you-go for around about £135. Now, before I actually kick off with the review, let's give you a quick product tour. I did this in my unboxing, but let's just quickly get it over with here. Okay, you have your physical keyboard over here. Phone start button, menu button, your trackpad over here, which if you click acts as an enter button, back button, and also your home button, and also the call sort of cut off button. At the side you have your volume up and down buttons, a dedicated BlackBerry Messenger button. On the top, 3.5mm audio jack with a power on off button over there. Also over here you have a 3.2 megapixel camera with LED flash, speaker over here, microphone pinhole over there, and that is about it. So let's actually load this handset up. And let's just unlock it, put a password in. Okay, now we're actually into the interface. Now, as you can see, this is Blackberry 7.0. A new version of Blackberry will be coming out soon, but I haven't had an actual trial of this, so I'm actually trying it with a Curve. And Blackberry OS is actually quite nice. It is quite fluent and elegant. This is not a touchscreen, but if you had a touchscreen, like if you got with the BlackBerry Bowls, you'll be able to experience this same user interface, but with a much nicer touchscreen and stuff, and it would be nicer to many people. But the Curve is aimed more at the sort of budget end of the market. You're still getting quite great performance, because the performance on this, I've noticed no lag whatsoever. The keyboard's not as good as the one you get on the Bold, but it's still very, very good. The earpiece and microphone at the bottom are absolutely fantastic. No problem at all when using this mobile phone to make and take calls. And the screen is really quite nice. Now, for using this as texting and using text messages and stuff, is an absolute joy. Let's compose a new text message. Okay, now I'm just going to write down, this is a test of the BlackBerry keyboard. Okay, that's not bad. As you can see, I've done a little mistake over there, but that's because I'm actually over sort of the camera. I'm looking through the viewfinder. If I actually had this and use this as my daily phone and use it how I normally would, not in front of a camera, then I would actually do much better. But I'm really surprised at this keyboard. When I first got it, I didn't like it. I thought the keys were too small. They weren't really shaped right. My medium-sized fingers won't be able to cope and also press them properly. I thought I'd be like the Thing, trying to dial a phone number with this, which I will be if I use my thumb. But no, it's actually quite good. And if you go over here, you can insert some smiley faces and stuff, and it actually tells you over there what it, how you would do it just by using all these sorts of keys over here, and what it actually means as well. So I actually like that you can do that sort of stuff. It was actually fun to do that sort of stuff on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, since you're using this keyboard, the keyboard actually does come as an advantage when you're actually using it on, say, stuff like Twitter or Facebook, because it's just like a joy to use the keyboard. And yeah, so that's using this for texting and stuff with the keyboard is great. For social media, it is absolutely fantastic. Battery life. The battery life is very, very good. Blackberries are notorious for great battery life, and this one's no exception. I'm getting, you can get about a week of standby with this. I'm serious. And if you use this low to medium use, you'll get about 3 days between charges. If you're a heavy user, you'll get about a day or a day and a half easily. So battery life on this phone is great. Okay, now let's actually talk about the camera. I'm not going to show you any photos as of right now, but it is a 3.2 megapixel camera, and the photos are actually quite good. I'll show you some in a minute. The flash is fantastic. The flash really lights up your subject very well and makes a lot of indoor photos actually really quite nice. Let's just go into the gallery, if I can find it. I'll just go into the camera. Okay, now as you can see, I didn't take much photos, but here's one of, again, homemade fish and chips. And here are some different photos. As you can see, there's a photo of a piano, and again, here's another one. If you actually tap in on this trackpad, you actually can zoom in, and if you move the trackpad around, you can sort of pan around the image. So the photos are actually quite impressive for a 3.2 megapixel camera. They're not great, but they do actually perform quite well. Now, let's talk about this little trackpad. I'm not always used to trackpads because I haven't used Blackberries. I'm always used to touch screens, but this trackpad is actually quite easy to navigate around with, and even on web browsing, it's quite good. Now let's just quickly show you a website. Let me input my own website in, which I've spelt wrong. Okay. And I've gone on to it before, so sorry, in the history. Okay, so here's my website, and the odd bit of checkerboarding, but it's still loading up the website. As you can see, there's checkerboarding now, but overall it's quite good. If you tap this drop-down menu, it brings that drop-down menu back for you, and I did not want to do that. Let's just go back on. Now, what I really like about the Blackberry is that I thought, well, if I'm going to have to zoom into all this text, I'm going to have to keep constantly scrolling left or right. But if you do zoom in, and let's see, can we zoom in more? Well, actually, no, we can't. But it's not really readable on this camera screen, but it is actually quite readable for me to read right here. And it's sort of, as you can see, reflowed all the text, so I don't have to scroll left and right to read. I can just scroll up and down. So that is absolutely fantastic. I love the fact that it's done that. Let's go back to the home screen. So it's great for that. If you want to use this for multimedia, you do not get this device because the screen is smaller. It's not as easy to manage your media, and using a touchscreen to scrub between the video is much easier rather than just using this trackpad. And watching videos on YouTube actually takes you to the mobile website of YouTube, and it's a good experience, but not really my kind of thing. My sister's been using this quite a lot, and she loves using the Blackberry, for using it as a keyboard and all that, and also using the YouTube app. So the curves, they say, are always sort of more aimed towards the girls, whereas the Blackberry Bolds are aimed to businessmen and men. But overall, I'd say this is a really nice handset. It'll cost you around about £135 off Vodafone.co.uk. And it is actually a really quite nice handset. I really like the way it looks. It feels very nice in the hand, although it's made of plastic. You don't feel like it's really cheap plastic or anything, so it won't get on your nerves, the build quality. And overall, it's been quite a nice experience. Me, however, I would go with a touchscreen device, or say a Blackberry Bold if I was to get one. However, the biggest downfall is the Blackberry app world. It is very limited in apps that it has. So that's the downside of Blackberry, and didn't know that I took for granted my apps on Android and iOS, but I'm missing a lot of apps on here. So I've been pretty much using the built-in apps on this and not the apps from the app world, except for a new Twitter client I got. But overall, yes, this is a great handset, £135, you can't really complain. It's a budget end, however the performance is top-notch. I can certainly recommend it to many of you, and if some of you businessmen want to get a Blackberry phone for a business, and you don't want to pay the premium for, say, a Blackberry Bold, then check out the Blackberry Curve 9320. Thank you guys very much for watching. This has been Eric from ecartman12.blogspot.com, and I'll see all of you in the next video.